Hey friends, welcome. May 10th, 2025. What if Jesus woke up this morning in your city? Not as a distant symbol, and not as a stained glass figure in a silent church, but real, present, fully human, and fully divine. Dressed like you, speaking the language of the people, walking into places others avoid. This series dares to imagine if Jesus still physically walked the earth in 2025, how would he spend his days? What choices would he make in a world of chaos, division, distraction, and a deep hunger for something real? Every day this year, we follow Jesus into a new modern American city. We watch, we listen, we learn what love looks like in sneakers. And today, we meet him in St. Paul, Minnesota, on a cool Saturday in the spring. It's 6 a.m. and the world is quiet here at Hidden Falls Regional Park. Down beneath the bluffs where the Hidden Falls spill gently into the Mississippi River, Jesus walks alone. He wears a hooded jacket, simple, dark, and weather-worn. His hair is wet from the mist. His breath forms little clouds in the morning chill. He kneels on the soft, damp ground. Birds begin to sing as he whispers, "Abba, today, let every person I meet see not me, but you. Let the angry be disarmed. Let the invisible feel seen. Let the broken remember they are not beyond repair." He doesn't rush the prayer. He sits for a long time, watching the slow ripples of the river. A jogger passes and glances at him. Something about this man seems out of time. Now it's 9:30 a.m., late morning, and the city begins to stir. And Jesus heads to the Hmong Village Shopping Center on Johnson Parkway, a vibrant marketplace, echoing with laughter, music, the clatter of pans, and snippets of multiple languages. He walks slowly through the narrow aisles between vendors. He buys a fresh lemongrass sausage from a grandmother named Maya, who squints at him like she knows him from a dream. Her son, Chow, is nearby, half present, hunched over his phone. His grades are slipping. He's skipping school. His mother says he's not like he used to be. Jesus walks over and sits next to the boy on a crate. He doesn't preach. He just says, "You were made for more than numbing your pain. What you're looking for is not on that screen." The boy says nothing, but later he returns to his mother, hugging her without being asked, and offers to help at the stall. It's 1 p.m. now in Frogtown. The streets hold history. Jesus joins a small group of artists gathered near University Avenue, painting a mural on a neglected wall that faces the sidewalk. The mural shows the faces of community elders, cultural symbols, and the rising sun over a phoenix. Jesus rolls up his sleeves and begins painting beside a woman named Teresa. She hasn't painted in a decade. Her brother died of a drug overdose last year, and since then, color has felt offensive to her grief. Jesus doesn't ask her to move on. He paints quietly beside her for nearly an hour, and at one point, she says, "Why bother with beauty in a world so ugly?" Jesus replies, "Because the world isn't ugly, it's wounded, and wounds need color to remember how to heal." She cries as she adds a brilliant crimson streak across the phoenix's wing. A bystander watching the mural in progress says softly, "Who is that guy?" Someone answers, "I don't know, but when he's around, it feels like everything matters again." It's 4:30 p.m. now. The sun is lower, slanting through dirty windows at the Listening House, a day shelter for the unsheltered and marginalized. There's no glamour here, just vulnerability, sweat, stories, and hunger. Jesus moves among the guests like he's been here before. He sits with a man named Curtis who lost everything in a divorce and hasn't seen his children in 4 years. Curtis doesn't want pity. He wants to be heard. Jesus listens like he has nowhere else to be. At the foot washing station, Jesus kneels before a man named Marvin, whose feet are cracked from frostbite and years of sleeping under bridges. As Jesus gently washes the wounds, Marvin shakes and sobs. "I've done things, bad things." Jesus doesn't flinch. "So have I, carried them, every one of them, and I still call you my beloved." A volunteer watches and quietly takes off her gloves. She begins washing feet too. It's 6:30 p.m. on the Green Quad at the University of St. Thomas. A diverse group of students have set up for an open forum titled Faith and Questions. Some sit with journals, some with lattes, some came to challenge, some came to listen. No one came expecting him. He steps up to the mic wearing his simple windbreaker and jeans, hands in his pockets, and a student asks, "Where's God when my mental health is collapsing and I feel like a burden to everyone I love?" Jesus walks toward her and says softly, "He's been weeping with you. Every panic attack, every sleepless night, every time you stared at the ceiling and begged for silence in your mind. I was there. I'm still there." Another student, an atheist, says, "Why should we believe you?" Jesus smiles. "You don't have to believe me. Just pay attention to the way your heart responds when love walks into the room." There's no applause, just silence, deep, reverent, and healing. It's 9:15 p.m. now, and as darkness wraps around the city, Jesus walks slowly up the steps to the Cathedral of St. Paul. The massive dome looms like a lantern over the land. He doesn't enter as a tourist. He walks in as if he knows every stone. Inside, the last candlelight flickers. No one is there. Jesus walks past the altar and kneels at the front, forehead against the floor. Abba, thank you for Teresa's tears, for Tua's silence, for Curtis's courage, for every person who let me see their soul today. Hold them tonight. Chase down the one who still thinks they are beyond grace. The cathedral breathes around him, ancient and alive. Then, silently, he rises and walks out into the Minnesota night. Amen. So, if you walk through St. Paul today, you might have recognized him. He didn't shine, he didn't shout, and he didn't advertise miracles, but he was there. At a food stall, at a paintbrush, at a shelter sink, at a student's breaking point. And maybe that's the point. Jesus doesn't wait for perfect places. He makes broken places holy. He doesn't come for applause. He comes for you. He'll be in another city tomorrow, but tonight, in a quiet apartment, someone finally whispered a prayer. In a shelter bed, someone slept without shame. In a school hallway, a teenager stood a little taller. And you, well, you were meant to witness it all. And come back tomorrow. We are just getting started. Amen. Before you leave, I would like to say a prayer for anything and everything that's important to you that you're holding in your heart today. Are you ready? You can join me, but I'll lead. Here we go. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Amen. Hey, if you're not a subscriber to this channel, I'd like to ask you to please think about clicking the subscribe button. When you do, you become a permanent member of our family, and you'll get notified, or I'll show up in your feed, and we can share more stories, and you'll know when I put some new good stuff out. You know, we do 2 to 6 videos a day, so there's plenty of love and information and inspiration to go around. Hug your family. You know why? Because they love you. And I'll be back tomorrow, I promise. God bless you, my friends. Take care.